share my screen. Okay. And just to reiterate, just so that's on video, the way we're going to break this down into different sections, into different boxes. We should be doing this from Sunday to Sunday, and we'll try to get it as pixel perfect as possible, without going into too much detail. It's literally just so you can get like the basic understanding of how to structure an HTML page. And if anybody hasn't already done so, just go to github.com, like whenever after class or on your free time or on break or whatever, sign up for GitHub. And this place is basically where you store all of your code. All of the code for my actual course is up here on GitHub. Whenever you start working for a job, they're gonna ask you to put the code in GitHub. So it is an important thing to get familiar with. And I'll drop that link in the chat. Make it easier to go back and grab it. So this is the GitHub link. You can go ahead and do that whenever you want. No rush on it. So what I'm gonna do is start a fresh project. And I'll start it the exact same way that I do in the course, just so you're familiar with it. So open up a new window in VS Code and new folder, desktop. Feel free to follow along. If not, it's fine. I'm going to supply the code afterwards. New folder, I'm gonna just name this HTML project. Create.
Hey, one more quick question, Isaiah.
Yeah.
Any documents that you like show on the screen, are you gonna place all of those in the Google Drive like you did last time?
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna drop both of these in there.
All right, bet.
Yep. So the way we set this up is we start with an index HTML file, and then we have to have our CSS file. I'm gonna just name this main.css, and these names are just standard. Index.html, you are always going to see this named this. If you was to ever put your website up, it's going to look for index.html to read from, so it has to be like this specific name. The CSS file, on the other hand, I've seen this name different. You can, as long as it ends with a .css here. So I'm gonna close this, and remember the way we do this, the boilerplate, is to press exclamation point and then hit the tab button, or you can just click this and then it populates for you. So yeah. So the first thing I want to do is make these boxes. These are going to be the different divs here. So what I'm thinking is to just make 4 divs on the screen. I'm literally just going to copy them down 4 different sections. And it's always a good idea to add comments in here as well. I'll name this section, I like to split it up by like where they're located on the page. So I'll call this one top left, call this one top right, bottom left, and then bottom right. That's how I like to split up my pages. So top left is here. We'll put that in the comment. Top right, bottom left, and bottom right. So when you're looking at the actual document that you want to create, what you want to do is just to like get the sizing together first. So I'm literally just going to make these boxes and just line them up as they look on the screen. And then I'm gonna start adding the background color here so that we can start to see this look like what we see here on the screen. So this one looks like it's about 70% of the way, 70% in width. If you think about the width being this complete thing here. So we got a 70-30 split. And let me actually bring this up in the browser as well. And if you haven't already done so, please download Google Chrome because this is the browser that we're going to be using in this course. And you also use Google Chrome on the job. They don't really reference any other browser. So we have it here, and I'm just going to open up the dev tools just so that we're able to see stuff happen as you go. So if you go to the, I can't remember if I taught the dev tools in in those first few sections. Did anyone miss this part? I don't know if I actually taught this part yet. If I
Yeah,
did,
you did. Do
I
the
did.
right click and go to inspect.
Okay, cool. So we can see all four of these. Go ahead.
You have a question in the chat.
How do I create the name for the file? Okay, so the name for this file, you go to this icon right here, this new file icon. You can click that, and then you start typing the name here. And you got to make sure you do an index dot. You have to make sure you do it, the HTML part after it. It's the extension. Just like a PNG or a JPEG, HTML files are HTML. You may see it as HTML as well, because that's still a valid file. But just put HTML. Yeah, if I miss a question in the chat, yeah, please just let me know, because I'm really not looking at the chat as much. So yeah, don't be afraid to jump in. So we have these 4 divs here, right? What I'm going to do is start styling these divs directly in the dev tools. That way we can see those divs styled real time. And then we'll copy all of those styles and bring them over to the CSS file. And we'll also link the CSS file to the HTML file. So I'll start with this one. And the way you style it, let me zoom in a little here. The way you style it is you click into this here where it says element.style. This styles that element specifically. And you have to make sure you actually click on the element. So I clicked on it, and now I'm going to style it. If you're yeah, on mute. So I'm gonna change the background color. Actually, I'm gonna just change the width. The width, I'm gonna make this, since I said it was 70% of the way, I'm gonna just say 70 VW. This is something I didn't teach in the course. VW stands for viewport width. So the viewport is literally this white area here. So this div is going to stretch 70% across this white area. And as soon as I give it a height, I'm just give it a height of 10 pixels just so we can see it. We can see that the div shows up here, the blue area. Let me increase this. And as I increase this, you can see that it starts to style here on the left-hand side. So 70% of the way over. And I'm gonna also give it a height of, I'm gonna just give it 100 VH. And VH stands for viewport height. So right now it's gonna be the length of the whole screen. You can see it here. Also, something I didn't teach in the course yet specifically, if you look at this, you see like some border on the edge of it here, some white border here. And that's because the body has some default margin. Remember I talked about the box model. If I click on the body here and hover over margin here at the bottom, we can see that that is all of the margin there. So what we want to do is give this body a margin of 0 so that we're not pushing this div away from the edge, because right now it's not where it needs to be. And I'll show you that by giving it a background color. I'm gonna give it a background color of black. Background color. Why is this not? I think something may be wrong with. Let me just check something out really quick. So it looks like, yeah, 70% viewport height, viewport. Okay, yeah, I think my browser was just maybe it got frozen or something like that. But this is that div, and we want to push this div all the way against the edge of the screen. So now that I have these stylings here, I'm gonna link my CSS file to this by using this link tag, and I'm going to drop the name inside of the link tag. The name of that is main.css. Please slow me down if I'm moving too fast also. So now that this CSS file is linked to the HTML, we can drop the styling inside of here. And I'm going to give this an ID, top left. Anytime you know that this is the only element that's going to,
Brother Isaiah,
yes.
I have a question. Now, I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but I'm still like on line 1. So I haven't done, you're on line like 19, and I'm feeling like I'm kind of lost. And I may be the only one, and I apologize if that's the case, but how can I catch up?
Yeah, honestly, you're probably not the only one. Yeah, someone in the chat just just said it. So what I can do really is slow down a lot of these tags that I'm showing, the div tag, the paragraph tag, this like structure here, like we don't have to worry about like what this really is in a sense. The only thing that we should really focus on are like what's inside of the body tag here. And just like slow me down. Like if I do something that looks odd, just like, hey, like can you slow down and explain that one part again? Because I do understand that most people are not going to understand like all of this stuff right off the bat, because this is the first time some people are seeing this. So yeah, just stop.
So is it possible? Again, can we see a show of hands to see who is like on line 1? Because if I don't know if everybody's line 1, maybe we can all go back to line 1.
Yeah, and we can do that for sure.
Hey Isaiah, one more thing too is I think that maybe that dev tools thing kind of got people lost too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'll go back to the code first, and then I'll show you the styling without the dev tools. And then once we get comfortable with the CSS file, we'll start jumping into the dev tools to explain what that really is, like further.
Yeah, because I think everybody was used to seeing the video or the Udemy courses, and you were showing the Visual Studio Code, you know what I mean? And then you just jumped directly into the dev tools. And I think that kind of lost people.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I'm like with me, yeah, thank you for like stopping me with that, because like with me, this is stuff I do all the time. So I don't really think twice about it. But yeah, I'm gonna try to follow like how the lectures are structured. I think that's probably the best way to do it anyway. So yeah,
Can we start from the beginning? I was lost in trying to create the file name. I went to the VS, what is called a VS editor, and then it says start, and then I push new file. But then I was trying to say, how do I title the file? How do I do that?
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll start complete from scratch. Let me share my screen again.
Save workspace.
Yeah, I thought it was where no one was asking questions. I'm like, does no one really have questions? But yeah, let me see. So I'm creating a new file on my desktop. I mean, a new folder. I'm sorry, on my desktop. I'm gonna just name this folder HTML. The way I did it in the course, actually, I'll stick to the way I did it in the course. The way I did it in the course is I right-clicked VS Code, like the actual icon, and then I press new window. Press new window. I'm gonna maximize this. After I press new window, I press this icon here. This icon is to show like the file that's currently open in VS Code. And because, I mean, to show the folder that's currently open in VS Code. But since there's no folder open here, it's showing this open folder option. So I'm gonna press this button to open a folder. And I'm gonna click my desktop here. And then I'm gonna click this new folder button. And I know that if you have Windows, it may look a little bit different. I'm not exactly sure how it looks on Windows. But if you do have Windows and it doesn't look like this, please let me know and I'll show you a workout.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna name this HTML project.
You see what he did?
So it looks different on Windows. So, but what I did was the same thing you was about to do for the make a folder, and I just named it HTML and I just pop into there.
Right. And I'll do that also.
I'll just create a new folder.
Yeah, let me delete this. I'm gonna just create a new folder here. And this way is fine also. Honestly, this is the way I do it normally. So HTML project. And then what you can do is either drag this over the VS Code icon to open it up, or like, let me see, if I do that, it opens directly in VS Code. Or I can open up VS Code, new window, and then press open folder, and then click on the let me see, click this, click open folder. Then I'm going to click on that HTML project folder here and press open.
Okay, so I'm sorry. My apologies. So I've created this new folder and I named it new folder 13022, right?
Yeah.
And then once I have that new folder open, how do I now, do I push new file under start? Is that what the thing is?
Yeah, so after you got the folder open, if someone is not with us, please, you can put it in the chat, or you can call out if you don't have the if you don't have the folder set up yet. But if you do, then you go here to this, there's a new file icon.
Now I don't see that new file. I see one under the start. It says under start and it says new files. Is that the same thing?
You said it says start and it says new file.
Can you share a screen?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can share my screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing on my end.
So this is what it shows right here. You see? Your file.
Sorry, I was on mute. You have to press open folder first, because oh wait, yours is already open. It says it right here.
Yeah, you just gotta go kick this new
top
folder.
left.
Yeah,
Hover,
top left, top
Yeah.
left.
right, exactly. So hover over where it says new folder, hover over that.
Okay.
No, click, open that back up, the one you just now closed. The
Close.
square- The squares at the two squares at the top left.
Ooh. Hold on. I apologize.
That's fine.
How did I get that? How do I get that back?
If you stop sharing it, the sharing stopped.
Okay, visual code. All right, got it. All right. So I'm back. Oh, my sharing stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So I'm back here.
So go to the gray bar on the side. Yeah, yep, that button right there. So click that,
All right.
and then hover over. Okay, you see it right. Yeah, the one to the left of that right
New
there.
file.
Yeah. New file.
Okay.
Then you start writing the file name right inside of that input box.
And what are we calling the file?
We're gonna call it index, and then .html. You always want to put another thing about this. You always want to put lowercase. You don't want to capitalize the
No
file.
capital index.
Just by convention. And uppercase file names mean a specific thing in the coding world, and that's why we keep it all lowercase.
Okay.
We're not gonna get there yet. We're probably gonna get there a little later with the uppercase. But so yeah, now it's created. Is everybody at this step? Everybody.
That's it.
Yes,
That's it.
volume.
Cool. Everybody's good.
It has an open and a closed
I
menu.
think it's probably better if one of y'all like lead and I'll and I'll just show you. Actually, let me how y'all want to do it? Do y'all want to do like one person leads and I can just kind of like show you what to do?
Yeah.
You,
Use Mr. Talib. I like how it's going like this because it's much easier to see. And then once we get down, we can start,
right.
crazy.
So, Talib, you can press the exclamation point and then you want to focus. Yep. The focus, inside of that, right. And then press tab, or you can click like the button tab on your keyboard.
So you can push the tab.
I
I pushed tab and this went to space.
Right, because the auto completion didn't show up. So delete that line really quick. Yeah, and then press exclamation point one more time. And when you see this drop down right here, you can press tab.
Tab.
Yeah. Nothing. No. You have to press on your keyboard, like the delete the yeah.
You
And now-
have a space after your exclamation point. That's why when you hit tab, it's not coming up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
The reason it was doing that is because you have to wait until you see the drop downs there to hit tab. Instead, you was hitting tab after the exclamation point, which was just putting a tab after a space after the exclamation. Yeah.
And so now tell me what happened. How did all that language come up on the screen like that?
Right. So VS Code has like some pre-built like boilerplates or like structures that you can drop right in. It sort of helps you code in a way. It makes sure that you don't have to type everything. So that exclamation point, what that does is it drops in the structure of an HTML page. Every HTML page has at minimum all of these components to it. So it's basically giving you a cookie cutter general framework in a sense for HTML.
So should we be taking notes about like that tab, because that's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
That tab, and I would never have known that. Is that somewhere written down?
I don't think it's, you can just take notes on it. In the course, I do mention it, but I need to do a better job at explaining exactly what to press because obviously I didn't do too good of a job. I'm gonna adjust some of those videos.
That's what you did, and then it just popped up.
Mm-hmm. You gotta do exclamation
Yeah.
and tab. No, you gotta push the tab after that. Didn't work. I delete it again. You gotta do it again. Exclamation. Tab. No, you push tab.
Top, yeah.
It's not working. So for some reason hers is not working. So should we just do a if it's not working, just do another. Should we just create another file? In fact,
oh wait, so there's reasons why it won't work. If the file name does not have a .html extension, VS Code doesn't know what to do with the exclamation point. So is it name index.html?
I think maybe she needs to delete that file. I think that it says delete that.
Yeah.
Or your computer closed down. You got it. I appreciate you taking the time with this. Just were kind of lost there.
Yeah, honestly, like this is important to understand. Like I would much rather, and honestly, like us taking time to do this, make sure that everyone knows it like later on, and we can like push through also. So this is good that we're like doing it this way.
I'm gonna write this down about the tab, the exclamation mark and tab. That's the thing.
Right.
remember too, fam, that these are being recorded, you know what I'm saying? So you can always go back and rewatch these joints. And take notes, pause, you know, pull up your Visual Studio Code, execute, pause, rewind until you actually got it.
Yeah, for sure. And don't be afraid to keep going back. Like, it's completely normal to go back. I mean, we wasn't like we was more of the story. We wasn't born knowing this stuff. Like all of this stuff all of these things are like man-made concepts. And also this is computer language. So even if it take you a few times to go through it, it's completely fine and it's normal. It happens to everybody. So
I don't need that. I want to just make sure you good. Now, let me ask, so I'm writing in my notes that exclamation tab will generate, what can I summarize this as being? What will it generate?
you can say it's the general HTML structure. So every HTML page has this. So it generates the general HTML structure. It's really called a boilerplate. Let me put it in the chat. Hopefully to everyone in the chat is boilerplate. And while people taking notes, like VS Code is like a standard text editor also. Like this is one that we use like on a job. So it's good to get familiar with it because it's something you're going to see if you start programming. So just a quick summary of what VS Code really is. It's literally just like Notepad. You use it to write notes, but you can also use it to write code also. So, and that just happens to be what we're using for and what it's mainly built for. So. So everybody good on the structure? Anybody else still a little?
Ooh, take care, brother.
So I had let me actually drop these in. Well, I have the actual template to what we're building on my computer. Let me see if I can put this as a message, and it does not go as a message. All right. So I have to share these documents.
You want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, it might be better if I just do it, and somebody can just tell me what to write. Maybe that would help. So I'm gonna share my screen, and so I'm gonna pull this back up. So right now I'm inside of that folder, and here is the picture. The picture is here. So remember we had this was the template that we're trying to build. The first one, well, we have 4 sections. We have these 4 boxes. And anytime you see boxes, always think of a div. You always think of divs, and remember, those divs are dividers. So when somebody tell me like what to write inside of, let me actually catch up. Exclamation point. So since those are divs, someone tell me how to write a div essentially.
What?
How to
div tag.
a div tag.
How do you write a div tag? How you
I thought
have
you
to?
gotta do the cone first, then div, and then
Right.
cone.
Right, exactly. So you can do that. Another thing you can do is you can just write div, and you can see the drop down here. Anytime you start typing in VS Code, you see these drop downs. And then you can hit tab again, and tab auto completes it for you. So you don't really have to write the cones if you don't want. And it's the same for paragraph tags. If I write P, it gives me a drop down of all of the available tags, and then you can press tab to autocomplete that for you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this down a few lines. The way I was copying it down so fast, like this, there's a shortcut to do that. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my cursor on line 11, and then I'm pressing Command C. On Windows, you do Control C to copy. And then while the cursor is still on line 11, I do Command V or Control V for Windows. And it should copy it directly down right underneath it. Just a shortcut for us to, if you got to write multiple tags.
The question, my body, so you have the head and then you have body on line 9. Okay,
Right.
so, and I had another body, I need to delete that. Okay, great. So my first div, my HTML should be on line 20 now, as opposed to line.
Well, it may look a little different because I put spaces here. I try to space out the tags so that it's more readable on the screen. So yeah, if you put spaces in between here, you'll see it on line 20. But I think depending on how you're putting the tags here, the lines will definitely differ. What I would do, just for best practice, I would definitely put spaces in between all of the tags, because that it just looks neater and it's easier to see on the eye. These HTML tags can get very like confusing, like, and if it's not spaced out properly, then you can't really tell what's going on. For example, you can see that all of these divs are indented in. And because it's indented, it really tells us that these divs are inside of the body tag. The body tag is the
Now that's that's interesting because mine are not indented. How do you indent them?
So if I put all of these here, and what I just did, literally, I just highlight all of these lines and press Shift Tab, and that brings it back to the towards the left side. But if you want to indent everything, you highlight it and then you press Tab.
You push tag.
Tab, T-A-B.
Okay, got it. All right, did it.
Yep. So yeah, make sure that these are actually where they're supposed to be. And if you have too much HTML and it's kind of hard to structure all of it, I'm gonna put this back. What you can do is right click, and then you should see an option called Format Document. You press that button, and then it formats everything for you. See, it literally spaced everything out for me. It tabbed everything in that needed to be tabbed in. It made everything look neater.
Hold on 1 second. I was sorry, I was just trying. You said now if you are trying to, what was the button? I need to write that down. What was that?
I'm gonna delete some of this stuff and I'll show you. So what I did was, let's say I have it something like this, and like I need to manually do this. If I need to manually do this, it's gonna take some time. So to let the VS Code do it for you, you can right click anywhere inside of VS Code. And then after you right click, you're gonna see this Format Document option in the drop down. And then you press that, and then VS Code formats everything for you.
Oh, really? So it knows how to do the tabs for you and stuff like that?
Right, exactly.
Wow.
And all of this is because this is named .html. Anytime VS Code sees an HTML file, if you do that Format Document, it knows exactly how to space everything out.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, so make sure if something is inside of something else, make sure it's tabbed over.
Now, so again, I see, like, for example, on line 8, you have the title document and mine is on line 7. Does that make any difference? Or, oh, okay, so you have a space. You have a space. after line 2. Now, so now it was done, it was identical, but then now it changed. How did that happen?
Yeah, it may be the settings on your VS Code. It tries to do the best job it can. Sometimes it does mess up. It doesn't always do like the spacing perfectly. Maybe it's one of those cases. But once you format it, like the first time, you can like go through it, you can eyeball it, make sure it looks good, and then just manually fix anything else. So, but yeah, the line numbers don't matter. The way this is read by the computer, and that's I'm glad you brought up like the line numbers. Everything is read like this, like everything is on one line. If I was to transfer everything to one line, that's how the computer reads it. It doesn't know anything about these spaces.
Oh,
Yeah, the spaces are for us to read because it's easier to read more than one line than just one line of a bunch of code. So
got it.
yeah. So yeah, so it doesn't matter how the computer reads it. But yeah,
I think I have a question.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still at 1, but I see all the way to 22.
Yeah.
I was able to create my folder, but then I only inserted a div. And then for you, you're going way to 22. So
Yeah.
how
So-
do I get there?
Yeah. Do you have this stuff here? Like all of this stuff that I'm highlighting?
I only have the first part that have index.html.
Okay. So what you want to do is you want to press the exclamation point. And then once you see this drop down here, you hit the tab button on your keyboard. Tab, tab.
Okay.
And once you do that, you're gonna see a bunch of code autocomplete for you.
Let me try that and see.
Okay.
You see, after the exclamation mark, what do I press?
You press the tab button on your keyboard, or you can click here. Actually, you just click
Should I just enter it?
No, don't press enter. Won't work. You can click one of these options. Do you see this drop down show up on your side? It says
Yeah.
click the first-
Exactly. I see that.
Yeah, just click the first one. You don't even have to hit tab. You can just click it with your
Yeah, it gives me doc type HTML.
Yeah, perfect.
But he didn't.
That's where we are. And then inside of the
But exactly, it only give me on a one dot type HTML, but with all the other codes on your presentation is not on my screen.
Okay. I'm gonna paste this in the chat for now. We're gonna try to fix that probably like later on. I pasted it in the chat. Just copy it from there and then paste it on your side. There may be something wrong with the settings in your VS Code, but it's supposed to give you everything.
So you're opening tab.
So after you do that, make sure you write 4 divs. I'm gonna space these out just so we got some space. Okay. So like I was saying, these 4 divs, they represent the 4 spaces here, these 4 blocks. The first one we're gonna create is this first block here. So for me looking at this, I'm thinking my computer screen is here. Like this big square that I just put, like this whole thing represents my computer screen. So this purple side here, like this left side right here, it takes up the full height of my computer screen, or the computer screen that I'm visualizing on the page.
So question, what we've done in VS Code translates into that what we see on that computer screen, or can we see what we've done how do we do that? How do we see what this translates to?
So this does translate to this, but right now we can't see anything on the screen.
Okay.
I'll show you. And the reason we can't see anything on the screen is because we didn't start adding like color and like sizing and stuff like that. We just put like the bare bones structure, which is just divs in this case.
Okay, so my question, I guess, is when we are ready to show something on the screen, then you'll be able to show us how do we go to another screen to see what it looks like? Is that you're gonna show that?
Right. You can do that two different ways. When you're on this screen, you can go to this index.html and then right click it. And then there's an option.
Hold on 1 second. So I go to HTML, right click it.
Right. And then press copy path
Copy path.
option.
Right.
So when you press that, you can go to your browser. Just go to Chrome.
Go to Chrome.
And then in like the URL part where you go to put the website, you can paste the path right there and then press enter.
Go to
And it
Chrome.
should take you directly to the HTML file. And there's another way to do that as well. This was like the harder way in a sense to do it. Now I'll show you the easy way to do it.
Hold on. So when I went,
Mhm.
hold on. Okay, I went to I pasted my my link,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it showed me a blank screen.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
That's
It's-
what's gonna happen. All right, great.
Yeah. So stuff is here, but we can't see it because we didn't start doing anything with it. Yeah.
All right, perfect. I just want to make sure I'm following.
Yep. The other way to open that up though is to go to the actual folder, to open up the folder, and then double click the file that's inside of it. Double click the index.html file, and it opens it up as well. Inside of it opens it up in a default browser. So if your default browser is Chrome, it's going to open it up in Chrome. If it's not Chrome, then you got to set your default browser to Chrome, or you can just use the first method that I showed, where you do copy path and then paste it in the address bar, and it takes you to the same spot. So,
Got it.
so now that we have these divs on the screen, there's a hand raised. Tessa, T.
My question is that I like I told you before, like I went through the first section at least 3 times.
Yeah.
And you figured that, I was using the wrong browser. I stayed up until like 2 o'clock in the morning trying to make the Chrome browser the default, going through to see the examples that you give through the lessons on the HTML, and it's not doing it. And I wonder, is it my computer being affected as an older model?
I don't think that's it. We probably have to go through, like, remember the settings we went through yesterday. That wasn't the I was looking at those again, and I don't think those was the instructions for the default browser. I'll pull up some. I'll drop some instructions in the drive to set your default browser to Chrome, and I'll do it for Windows, and I'll drop instructions for Mac. And I'll try to make it, I'll write it like out, and I'll try to make it as descriptive as possible. And if you still have an issue with it, you can always just message me, and I'll hop on Zoom with you so that we can set the default browser. I may actually just drop a video in there on YouTube, and I'm sure there's like a YouTube video out there to
but like I'm because I looked at all the instructions 3 times, I am keeping up, but like that was frustrating. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'll give you a resource for that in a drive. Let me write that down also, just so I won't forget. There's my notes. Resource for default browser. cool. So, so we have these. Any other questions before I move on? We're good. All right. So we have these 4 divs, right? This first div is going to represent this div right here. This first box. Remember, div means divider. So this is the first divider that is that we're about to build. So in order for us to build this, we got to link some CSS file to our HTML file, because the CSS file helps us to add color to the screen. So we're going to make a box, and we're going to make that box the same color that we see here. So first, you have to create the CSS file.
I'm sorry, quickly. Now you were talking about the CSS files. Can you just step right back? How how did you go to that CSS file? How do you create that?
So the CSS, so the HTML is just and I'll jump to the CSS too. So HTML is literally just like the structure of a website, and if you compare it to like a house, you can say that HTML is just like wood and like bricks and like cement, like literally the bare bones structure of the house. When you start getting into like putting color, you start painting the walls, adding the windows, adding flowers and stuff like that around the house. That is what CSS represents. CSS is like the color of the website. Anytime you color on the website, you see different fonts on the website. You see like pictures sized a certain way. You see this button is like circular in a sense. It's almost like a there's like it's sort of curvy on the end. Like, or what CSS does for us. It makes it look presentable or like pretty in a sense.
And so right now we don't have any CSS with the basic text you've given us so far, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And so you're showing us now how to apply CSS into this. There's some text that you're going to tell us.
Right. Right. Yeah. I'm showing how to put the CSS in. Yeah.
All right. How do you do it?
All right. So first, what we want to do is we want to create the CSS file. So you create the same way you create the HTML file. You press this this new file button here. You can also right click this section and press new file in the drop down. So it's 2 different ways to do it. I'm gonna just show you all the different ways just in case one doesn't work. So I'm gonna name this main.css. So make sure it has a .css file extension. The name of it can be whatever you want, but it has to be main.css. And I would just name it exactly what I have it here, just so we can follow. We can follow better. After you make that, we need to link this to our HTML. So in order to
I have
link,
a question.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused on how you got the new file that you have there.
This one.
How did you create it?
Right. So the way let me zoom in a little bit more here. So I'm gonna delete this really quick. So the way I create this, first you gotta have this panel open. So I'm gonna close it first. So if your side looks like this, you wanna press this icon right here. This icon opens up this panel for us. And also you should see that there's a name right here, and this is the name of your folder. You have to make sure that this is open as well. So if it's closed, you want to click this to open that up.
Yeah.
After you do that, there's a button right here. There's a square button. It's like a file icon. You can press that. And then after that, you should see an input box. In the input box, you write the name main.css and then press enter or return depending on which computer you have. And it creates the main.css file for us. Also, if we look back at the folder, we can see that it was created in here as well. So VS Code is essentially creating these files for us. On the VS Code side. Index like it goes here and main.css here. So let me here. So right now I'm inside of the main.css file, right? I need to link this to the HTML. I'm gonna go back to the HTML file. We can see that there's tabs on top here. It goes to the HTML one. And then inside of the head tag is where we're supposed to link our CSS. Let me close this. So all of this information here are not things that we're actually going to like see on the screen. This is just like information you want your website to know about. So what I'm about to do is link our CSS file to our HTML file. The reason we're linking it is because right now the HTML file does not know that the CSS file is next to it. So we have to explicitly tell it that the CSS file is there. So in order to do that, you have to write a link tag. So you type link, you're gonna see this drop down of stuff here. You can either press tab or you can click it here in the drop down. If I click it, it auto completes for me. And just to explain what this link tag, like what these things are here, this is literally saying rel stands for relationship, and it's saying that this is a style sheet. It's saying that the CSS is a style sheet. Style sheet is just a fancy way of saying this is how we style. This is where all of the styling for the page is going to come from. Now inside of the href, this is the href attribute. You want to put your cursor inside of these double quotes here. And then you want to write the name of your CSS file. So I'm going to write main.css. As soon as I write the letter M, I can see that it starts to autocomplete for me in VS Code. So I can either hit tab or I can press it. So I'm gonna hit tab and then it autocompletes that for me. So we've linked.
After the title, go to the head, to the title.
Right.
After the title, above head, enter.
Which one?
Yeah.
Enter right there.
Right there.
Enter. So you right there, put link.
Type
Say
link.
link, yeah. Then type the top.
Yep.
Press the top.
Top. This one. Mhm.
Yeah. So then in between, click space it. Right, and then after you space.
The CSS. Okay. Z. Cool. What is yours?
That's not mine, that's his.
So after you have that, you just type main inside of the href. You press tab or enter. And the reason we're writing this is because this is the name of the CSS.
So I remember that we were supposed to include everything under body, but since this is just for the design, we keep it before body. So it covers everything under that.
Right, exactly. I think this can technically go inside of the body, but it's just not, it's best to keep it in the head tag. The reason is because everything in the head tag contains information about the website. It contains metadata or just data about the website.
Got it.
Yeah. So this can literally go anywhere inside of the head tag. This can go up here, or it doesn't matter the position inside of it. As long as it's inside of the head tag, doesn't matter where it goes.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So for when you're writing that link line,
Yeah.
Does the main CSS have to be underlined, or is it okay if it's not?
It's okay if it's not.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
when I typed in main and I hit the tab, I had to like manually write it in.
Oh, I see.
Just that part though, like the href.
I have a question too.
Yeah, as long as you got the name in there.
So,
Yeah.
like
I
me.
was able to create the folder,
Everybody say.
the CSS folder. But then I see all these links coming out. I don't know how.
How did he?
So can you
Somebody else.
just go back over it for me?
It's all the situation is for Black people.
Yeah, but how do you mark it?
Hey, Tyler, you
Black
mind-
people. Can you mute it?
All right, what was your question? I'm sorry, can you say that again, the question?
So I was asking, because I created a folder with the main CSS already,
Right,
but then I saw you typing in link, and there was a whole bunch of code that dropped.
right,
I just wanted you to go over the procedures again.
right. So when you type link here, it should give you some auto completion here. If you look at all of these, like these are all like different HTML tags. What you want is this first one here. So you want to click that. And after you click that option, that first option, it auto completes.
What I think is my computer has some issue because I enter that and I'm not getting all these bunch of codes that you have.
Yeah, I just dropped it in the chat. What I think is going on your side is your VS Code probably doesn't have an extension, and the extension is called image. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a note. I'm gonna also drop a video link in the Google Drive for you to make sure your VS Code is updated. Because it's
Great.
with it, but for some reason it didn't. Let's see, drop link to autocomplete. Yeah. So all of the auto completion probably doesn't work for you, but I just dropped it in the chat so you can paste it right in there. And then inside of this href, inside of the double quotes here, you write main.css because that's the name of the CSS file. Okay. All right. So now that the CSS is linked to the HTML, we can now start like styling these different divs. The first one we wanted to style was this one here. And if we look at this, we can see that this has like a width of about 70% of the full screen. If you think of this box that I created here as like my computer screen, this purple box is about 70% of the way width. And the height of it is 100% of the actual height of the screen, the computer screen. So what I'm about to do is first I need to give this an ID. Remember, when you give this an attribute of an ID, it gives us the ability to specify which HTML element that we want to style. The one we want to style specifically is this one. So I'm going to give this an ID of, I'm gonna just name this top left. Which everyone has this ID.
I have a question.
Sure.
So I was following you the first time, so I have the open caret with the exclamation point and then top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, right. Do I
Right.
just delete all of that since we're doing it through the
No.
ID?
No, you can keep that. I'll put that back actually.
Can you take away the leave meeting thing because it's blocking your screen?
No, I can see it. I have another question too. You said that capital letters would have some sort of meaning earlier, and you put the capital L. Is there a reason why you did?
Yeah. The reason, it's kind of hard to explain without like context. But if I say the reason, you may not like. It's kind of hard to explain really, without jumping into the JavaScript. It's really a JavaScript thing.
Okay, I'll wait.
Yeah, it's still HTML. Yeah, I can say it, but it's not gonna make any sense.
All right.
I'm not trying to like No, but there's a certain term in JavaScript that we use that you have to have already done JavaScript to know what that term means. Yeah, so I put a comment here. For anybody that don't know how to put a comment, I literally just wrote I wrote top left here, and I'm gonna press Command and then / on this line, and that automatically creates a comment for me. And you can either write it manually or you can let VS Code do it for you. I usually just let VS Code do it for me. So it's Command / or Control / if you're on Windows. These comments are just used for us to know what we're about to write. It's really just to leave notes in your code so that you're able to like read it. I can literally just put like this is the top left box, something like that. It's always good to put comments. So if everyone has this ID here, this top left ID, can somebody tell me how to target by ID? How do I target this by ID in the CSS file? What do I write?
Selector and then the open and closing curly brackets.
Right. It's a selector, and then, but what's the selector? How do I write the selector?
You'll copy the div and then paste it in the selectors, please.
How does she know this?
Right. It was in the courses he wanted us to watch.
Oh, I'm like, man, hold on. I'm like, is this some like natural knowledge that I'm supposed to have? I was like, I'm definitely not in the right course if that was the case. But thank you. I apologize. I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, he went step by step with a lot of things. It's just the browser thing that I was lost at.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. And stop me if you didn't fully get all the way through it, like let me know, like, and I'll explain it. But with IDs, right? So the way this is broken down is in CSS, when we style things, we put the styling between the opening and closing curly brackets here. And you're gonna see what I mean whenever I start styling it. And the selector is basically how you target an HTML element. When I say target, I mean, okay, I want to style this one HTML element. That's what this is called, an HTML element. And if I want to style this thing, I have to first give it an ID, a way for us to identify what this element is. So I'm going to copy the name. For IDs, you want to put the hashtag, and then you want to put the ID name. This is how you style.
Hold on, I'm sorry. You first had selector, then you deleted selector. Why is that?
Right. So there's different types of selectors. So let me put this in a comment actually. Let me put that here. And this is like the main structure of that, of a selector. Now, the way you write the selector changes depending on if you're targeting by ID or you're targeting by something called class. But I'll get to class whenever we get to that. But these are also on in the videos also. But right now, since we just doing ID, we target with a hashtag and then the ID name. This is the selector. So this is just a general pattern for how you style things, how you select things with CSS.
So I'm just curious. So the that text that you have, the / star space selector, is there a shortcut to doing that, or you just type that in?
Right. So what I did was I pressed Command / Command / will get you a comment for any programming language, no matter which file you have here.
Command. Okay, you said command. Where's the command key?
Or Control if you're on Windows.
Okay. Control /. Control /. All right, I got that. I got 2 stars that came up.
/ Right. So the comments, the comment goes between the / star and the star /. These comments are really hard to remember, and that's why VS Code gave us shortcuts so that we're able to just type it.
So so I'm gonna type in selector or type in top left. What am I typing?
Hashtag.
Right.
Hashtag?
You want to write hashtag and then you want to write top left. These comments, these are ignored by the browser. It doesn't read these at all. This is just for us to see. So whenever you start styling it, you want to you don't want to do that inside of a comment.
Okay. So the / star, that's just, those are just your comments. Those are something for your editors to know what.
Right. This is just for us to read, really. The editor, it completely ignores it. Whenever it shows up on the screen, it skips over these things. It doesn't even read these. The only thing it reads are things that's not inside of these 2 comments here. These / star /.
Okay. All right, got it. All right, control. Okay.
Yeah, so right, the hashtag, top left, and then opening bracket, closing bracket. What I will always do, instead of just writing out top left, I will always copy it. Like, get used to like copying and pasting. Because if we misspelled this or we didn't do it the right way, you can see these 2 lines are different. This and this is completely different. Can somebody like look at that and tell me what's the difference between these 2 lines?
The L is capital.
Right, exactly. So it's sensitive. It's case sensitive. So you want to always copy and paste because it's very common to not have the correct case. So
now one other question. You have top capital LEFT. That is that significant that you use the capital letter?
Oh yes, for L here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is called yeah, I need to put this in my course. So I don't think I specifically said this either. It's called camel case. This is a way to a style to write your text. So since I noticed there's 2 words, the first letter is always lowercase, and then the next word letter has an uppercase. So if I say camel case like this, it's camel and then case, capital C. So even if I put this as camel case, this is how you would see it. Because we always want these things to be one word. We don't want them to be, we don't want these to be like this. We want it to always be one word. So this is a style of doing that. So I'm gonna put this back how it was, but that's camel case. You may also see another thing called snake case. The snake case is a little bit different. Snake, you use an underscore case. And this is how you keep it together, just like you see on like, I guess social media, people put underscores. Snake underscore case. So this would look like top underscore left if this was snake case. But we're using camel case here.
This thing. Where is it?
That.
Okay, when you do it like that, would it look different on the final project with the underscore?
Everything's that these 2 are really just preference. It's not really gonna make a difference. I like to keep it camel case. That's just my preference. But some developers, they do snake case. There's another one called title case. Title case, you start off with a capital letter, and then you put the capital letter every one after. This is title case. But camel case is very common. Sometimes you see snake case, but you see camel case more often. So I try to stick to what most people are writing as. So yeah, that was a good call. I'm gonna write this down actually to explain that in my course. Explain camel case.
much would have to be given? Just go ahead and let's watch it.
So if everybody is here where we have the hashtag top left and then the opening and closing curly bracket, if you write a curly bracket, if you just write the opening one, VS Code writes the second one for you. It's going to autocomplete it for you. And when your cursor is in between the opening and closing curly brackets, I want you to press either enter or return, depending on what computer you're on. Return for Macs, enter for Windows. And when you do
I
that,
have a question.
go ahead. Yeah.
The curly bracket,
Yeah.
how do you bring the curly bracket on your screen?
Right. So on a keyboard, you should see the opening curly bracket right next to the letter P. And you do shift and then you press that button. You see it on your keyboard?
Yeah, I see that.
Cool. So that's how you write the curly bracket. So you just write the opening one and the closing one is automatically written for you. And your cursor should be between both. You press enter right there. Press return, whatever button you have on your keyboard. And what that does is it automatically indents it for us. You can see that the cursor is indented in. This is the same concept as HTML. When something is inside of something else, you want to indent it so that you can visually see that it's inside of something else. So now we're going to start styling this. We said that this is 70% of the way over. 70% of the whole screen. This whole box being a screen. The purple side 70% in width. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type width here. And you should see a drop down also. I'm gonna hit enter. And then I'm gonna press 70 VW. VW stands for viewport width. This basically, this is not a comment here. I'm going to stretch this box 70% across the screen. And I'm also going to give it a height. Height, I'm going to give it, when I press height, you should see it pop up here. And then you press enter or you can click it here. And I'm going to press 100 VH. And VH stands for viewport height. We saw that since this box is my computer screen, is what I'm saying is my computer screen, the purple box is 100% in height for this, this imaginary computer screen here. So that's why this is 100% of the viewport height. I'm also going to give it a background color. To give it a background color, you start typing background and you should see color pop up here. You can click that. And then I'm gonna just give it a background color of black, just so I'm able to see it on the screen. If it doesn't have a background color, you're still gonna see a white background here like this. So after you do that, make sure you save the file. You know it's saved. If it's
What?
You didn't put view. You didn't put this right here.
Oh yeah.
so if it's not saved, you can let me put this down here. If it's not saved, if you look up here at the top, you should see a white circle. That tells you that the file is not saved. But as soon as I press save, I can do Command S or Control S, or you can do File, Save, whatever you want to do. I really suggest the shortcuts, to be honest. So Command S or Control S to save it. You will see that dot went away. Now this file is actually saved.
So how do you get that on the black background color? How did you get that box black? How did you get that?
This comes with VS Code. It may not be on your end. Whenever you put colors in here, you can hover over this color and then you can like change the color inside of this box. It gives you the option to change it. it gives you like in between colors. So if I wanted to do that type of blue, now it's blue.
So I wrote background hyphen
Background hyphen
color.
color, right?
And then
Just type the word black there, and that this black box should show up automatically.
okay, I wrote black.
Right. So if you have that, I'm gonna go to the screen now and I'm gonna refresh.
I'm sorry. What I was saying is that I didn't get the box didn't come up.
Yeah, this box, yeah. So it may not be on yours. For some, I know there's like some extension for VS Code. Even if it's not there, it's fine. It's just weird. If you type it, it should still work. It's optional, really. This is like an extra feature you can get from it.
So I mean, but just by putting black, that's sufficient, right? I don't need the box in front of the black.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Just putting the color is good.
All right.
So when you go back to the browser and refresh, you should see something that looks like this. Everyone can see this.
I'm learning how to code email.
I didn't get that when I did it in VS Code. It was there when I did it on the dev tools on Chrome, but I took that out and tried to do it just in the VS Code, but when I refreshed, it's not there.
Yeah. So does your styling look like this?
Yes.
And do you have your CSS linked to your HTML?
Yes, everything looks exactly the same.
So
I'm gonna just take it out and do it over.
No, it's fine. There's probably like just one thing that's wrong. If you can paste in what you have inside of the chat, I can tell you exactly what's off or what you can change to make it work. I don't want you to have to do the whole thing over.
I'm on 2 different devices.
I see.
I could turn my camera.
Mine didn't work either, so I can put mine up if you like.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah, you can. Yeah, if you turn your camera over, I can, and then we'll go to you also, Tyler, whenever.
I found out what happened. What happened was that I had my squiggly line open and closed on line 11, for example, so that it had top left,
right,
and had open and closed, but it didn't have the
like
but I was supposed to put the close underneath. So now it populated that that got that black line. I mean, got that black box there.
Right. Yeah,
that's amazing.
All right, special. You want to?
Wait, I'm not sure if y'all could see or not.
So the camera is pointed towards you. Are you sharing your screen or you?
No, I'm on 2 different devices, but
yeah.
My background color just disappeared, but it was there.
Yeah, if you can put it a little bit closer. Okay, so we have top left, we got width, we got height, yeah, background color, yeah, and then put black. Yeah, it looks good. Make sure you save it, because right now it's not saved, and you got to save your HTML file also. The HTML got a dot on top of it.
Oh, we saved both. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
that's what I did. I didn't save that other one. Oh, okay. Because I wonder why.
I didn't know we had to save both. My apologies.
It's all good. Like these are like common mistakes people.
Got it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna actually write that down to add it in my course also.
Another question as far as like when it comes to like saving the files, because I did that mistake she did, and I thought I started it over like 3 times.
Right.
So when saving do I have to update my VS Code because I'm not seeing the extra save? But do I have to update it, or am I like messing up?
I'm not sure if I understood your question.
Like it's not, a lot of it is not saving. Or
Oh.
could it still be the fact that I have not switched my browser to the Chrome default?
No. So when you say, you just have to manually save it. Every time you make a change, you just save it. You can either do file save, and it should save it for you, or you can do Control S on your keyboard because you have a Windows computer, right? You do Control S. On Macs, we do Command S, and it saves it for us. And you know it's saved whenever that dot goes away. Yeah, these are literally like common things that people do whenever they start using the text editor, because it's a lot of times you expect things to auto save, but this doesn't auto save for us. So
Yeah, I thought saving the CSS would save like everything.
right. I think you can set up to auto save, but I wouldn't do that honestly, because auto saving can be it can have some issues in it. But I am noticing that it's 11:55. Time flew really fast. And I didn't even give a break at all. But yeah, I'll try to do better with that next time. But yeah, if there's no other questions, we'll end it here. We've just created this box, and we'll
How do we save it before we leave?
I'm sorry.
How do we save the CSS file, or is it already automatically saved?
Yeah, it's saved whenever you press the whenever you save it on your end. When you do Control S or Command S, you should see a save for you, or you can just go to File and then Save, and then it saves it.
Save right here, love.
Isaiah, quick question.
Yeah.
Can you, before you leave, I know we done, I really want to see how you divide them, like the left, the right, the bottom and left, bottom, right. If you don't mind, I know it's pushing time, but I really want to see that.
I can definitely do that for you. I'll do that as soon as the question is answered. I can just run through it and just show you how it looks. And I'm going to give.
I do have one question.
Yeah. What's your question?
Sorry. It's like the simple question, but I forgot on VS, how do you look at what you created again? Like to run, like to see the page, the image, the actual image itself?
Like to see this part here? Like
yeah, I forgot how to do that.
You can go to the folder, you open that folder up. My icons are like really big, but and then you can just double click on the index.html file and it opens up in the browser for you.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my my file, my HTML file, and I don't see any changes from what we started. It's still a blank screen for me.
Like this HTML file?
Yes, I mean the on when you actually see it in the browser, it's still.
Oh, you don't see this black box here, you're saying?
No, I don't see the black box.
Okay. This first div, do you have the ID here inside of the inside of this div?
Okay, let me just check that.
It's in the chat.
I have div. Hold on, in the HTML. Okay, I have div ID top left. Div ID equals top left.
You can share your screen actually. It'll probably be
I have
easier.
a quick question, please.
Yeah. Let me just tackle this one really quick, and then we'll jump to you. Tyler, you can share your screen. Okay. So all right. Can someone before I answer it, I want to see if someone else knows what's wrong here. If somebody can jump in.
Yeah, I forgot what they're called though. Those little cases on the div tag. Yes. It's like one too many.
Yeah. So the div you have right there, you have the angle bracket right after the V. You want to delete that. After that, so line 15, that first div where it says div, We'll delete that last one there. Yeah. Yep. Delete that. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, so that should be open. Now, what's the impact of that?
So you want to, so the reason, so it's not actually open, it's closed. The closing one is right after where it says ID.
Oh, right. I see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything, all of these things, these attributes or things you put inside of these, they go inside of that first div, that
Right.
first tag. Yeah. So if you
Right.
save that and go to the browser, you should see it there now.
So let me just go to the browser.
You want to save it first. It's not saved.
How do I push save? Go file,
File.
save.
Yep.
Okay, now.
One quick question, please.
Yeah, sure. Let me make sure this works. We'll jump.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, brother.
It's good.
You made it. Appreciate that.
Yep. All right. So what was your question? The quick question.
Yeah, I want to save today's practice on my desktop. How do I do that?
You said how do you do what? I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
Go and see.
I'm saying, how do I save
How you
the
saving it?
work, the folder that we work with today on my desktop?
Right. Did you open up? Do you have you don't have a folder there? Like
I got a folder there called HTML folder.
yeah.
I want to save it to my desktop so that way I can track what I did today.
Share if you can share your screen, it should already be on your desktop. But if it's not, we can get it to your desktop. If you can share your screen, Tyler, if you can stop sharing so he can.
Let me see. Yeah. So
The share screen button is the bottom button. It's in green. It should be green in that in the window there.
I'm trying to get it.
Are you on Zoom through your computer or through your phone?
On Zoom, on both.
On both?
My phone and my
Okay, so
computer.
You want to go to the Zoom screen and you want to click on that share screen button at the bottom. The button should be green. Yeah.
I see that.
So if you click that, and then you should see a button. It says share, and you want to click that share button.
Yeah, and it got open system preference.
Open system preference. No, it should just say share. It should be like a box, and it shows like it should show all your screens on your computer. But if you just literally just a share button, it should share your screen.
They're saying the Visual Studio Code is unknown, so it's not even displayed.
Okay. So it's not displaying. It's not sharing the screen. So if you go to your desktop, right, on your computer, do you see that HTML folder there?
Nope.
You don't. Okay. So another way to tell where that folder is at is to look at, do you have it open in the browser? Do you have that index.html open in the browser?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So if you have that, you should see the path of the HTML file. Mine say desktop. Mine say my username. It says my name. It says desktop, and then it says HTML project. So I know mine is on my desktop, but yours may be somewhere else on your computer.
Yes.
This path is that is where that's where it is on your computer.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can just move that to your desktop wherever it is. Makes sense.
Try to find it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in that path right there. I don't know if you're say documents. I'm not sure where you saved it at on your computer, but the path at which you saved it is there. It's the folder right there.
And another thing, quick quickly, please don't forget to share with me the extended version of the Visual Code.
Right.
So
Right.
that way I can upgrade my.
Yeah. I'm gonna share it. I got it right here. To share the autocomplete extension. Yep. I'll even drop a video in the group chat so you can just follow the video. It'd be easier to do it that way, to be honest. So, all right. Was there any other questions? Okay. If there's no more questions, I'll just jump into quickly. I'll quickly show how to do the rest of it.
I have a
But
question.
everyone else is free to, yeah. What's your question?
Do we have homework?
Well, just to completely make sure you just know the HTML and the CSS. I'm gonna give, like, any homework, I'm gonna give it on Tuesday. If I think of anything
Okay.
that we need to go over or whatever. But we're literally just gonna work on this project from Sunday to Sunday, and maybe even Sunday to Tuesday, depending on how long it takes to get through. I want to make sure everybody fully understand what's going on. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll
Thank
get them on Tuesday. Yeah, so everyone else is free to go unless you want to see the rest of it built out.
And you know, Isaiah, I know, man, that your time is precious. I don't want us to take your time, but I don't know if anybody else has problems and their screens are not their screens are not showing. Because Malia, her screen isn't. Her screen is. Can you take a look at her screen and tell her what she's done wrong?
You're saying she can't see the screen? Oh, there's nothing sharing right now.
No, I'm saying share your screen. Her the box isn't showing.
Yeah.
Her code, something's wrong with her code.
Okay, I see. Yeah. If something wrong with the code, yeah, I can take a look at it. Yeah, if you share your screen, I can.
The clean box.
Yeah, and if unless everyone else want to see what's about to happen, you're free to go. I'll see you on Tuesday. So.
You see it?
No, I can't see your screen yet.
If I share, click it 2 times.
Should be a share. Yeah, it's loading. Okay, I can see it now. Okay, yeah, you got to save your HTML file.
Oh, save.
So you can do yeah, file. Yeah.
How did you know it wasn't saved?
Because it had if it had a circle. So just write something in there really quick, or just write like a space. I want to show you the difference. Okay, so if you look at the tab where it says index.html all the way up top, you see a circle right next to it. Press Command S, or you go to File Save or Control S, that circle goes away.
No push. Okay, gotcha. Now go to your screen. See what. No, go to your go to the browser. So she still doesn't have the black box.
Yeah, refresh it. Just do a refresh. You got the still nothing there.
Is there something in her CSS maybe?
Let me see. So
go to your CSS box.
Yeah, go to open up your CSS. Oh wait, is this a wait? This looks very yeah. Go to your CSS file. Let me see how it looks inside of it.
That's it.
Folder. It's supposed to be a file there. I'm wondering why it's not showing the correct way. So in those top tabs there, I want you to click main.css where it says like all the way up top. Up a little bit more. Where it says main.css, the tab up. You can put your cursor up a little bit more.
Oh, right here.
No, not right there. It was directly above where you were before. Keep going up. Keep going.
This maybe you need to take out that.
I don't know if it stopped right there or
move that out the way. Move that out the way. Move it.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the share screen thing is in the way. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so click that, right. Okay. So, okay,
Top
yeah,
is spelled wrong.
right. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, thanks for just being like, that's what I want to see. Like, I want to see like other people just say it. Yeah. So just remove one of those O's.
Yeah. No, you backward. Yeah.
If
And now push on set, you gotta save that. Now go to file. I'll refresh it.
um
Can I say something?
sure, yeah.
I think it'd be a little bit easier if she's opening her boxes up so she can read it a little bit clearer. Cause it's like a little too congested. That's one of the things I learned from the video. It's easier to open it up so it's, you can see where the error is at. Cause I think she was following and adding all the stuff in the inputs. Like if you see the viewport height, if she
Right.
take that out and just start going in between and putting it in there, she'll help her out.
Yeah. Press I want you to right click that file. If you right click inside of there and then press oh, I thought there was a format document here. You can't format this one, looks like. Never mind. Yeah, so basically what he was saying was like there's a lot of stuff here that looks a little bit let me paste.
Oh, height not indented
Yeah, it's not indented properly, right?
in her background color.
There's no, oh, so she was about to indent after top left. She this has width, but the other ones are not indented. Like height and background color, those are not indented.
She has to slide it over so it can be matching with the width. So height is all the way off. It's not in one format.
You gotta go and push tab after height.
Yeah.
Push tab.
Yeah, it's just good practice to like see it that way. It should still work if even if it's not formatted correctly. I just pasted in what I have.
Now go to the same with the now save.
Should still, yes, it's not let me actually, it might be easier. Let me see. I'm gonna, is it okay if I request control of your desktop and I can like I can remotely do it from here? I can just
The
check.
main CCS is capitalized as well. The M in it.
Yeah, that should, it's, yeah, I did notice that too. It should be
the main CC is that one.
Yeah. I just put a I just requested for control. If you can press like, if you can accept
Yeah,
it.
no, I think I just gave you a control.
Okay, all right, perfect. So this is what I'm gonna do. Just wanna check out some of this stuff. All right, so this is here. I'll rename this to be lowercase. And it shouldn't matter, but I just think it's best practice to have it like that anyway. We have this, gotta change that to M, main.css. Let me format this also. So now it's structured properly. Save this. So we have that. We have this. Copy path. I'm gonna make sure it's actually up in your browser.
Her the L and left on this page is lowercase.
Oh, that's right.
Is it?
On her under her div on the HTML.
Yes.
It's a lowercase.
Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely it. All right, so
That's it right there.
Yeah, I'll give you that control. Let me see. Stop remote control. Okay, so you can open up in your browser and
let's say that's a save. Yeah. Save.
Yeah.
All right.
There it is.
Perfect.
All right. Perfect. Well, we appreciate you, brother. You I've you know, this is going to be a good class. And, you know, this takes a little bit for everybody to get on page, but it's helpful so we can see what people, you know, how mistakes can be made and stuff like that. So thank
Right.
you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So we have class tomorrow. Is that the case or Tuesday?
Just Tuesday. Just Tuesday.
All right. Well, I'll just announce to everybody we're doing a podcast with Brother Isaiah on Thursday. So if you guys are interested, I don't know, Brother Isaiah, can you share that with everybody, the link, so
Yeah.
they can check it out.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll drop that in the I'll drop it in the chat in Instagram so everybody have access to it. So you just want like developers or people that want to learn coding to just drop in and give like commentary on the podcast, right? Like, is that how? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll drop that link in the Instagram chat for anybody that want to join that. Let me write that down. Are there any other questions before I continue to just push through some of this stuff so you can see it being built?
Is that going to be taking up too much of your time, brother? Because we can finish at the next class. I don't want to put too much burden on you.
I mean, you don't have to stay for it. I'm just going to speed through it, to be honest. And I'm
okay, go for it. I didn't want to take up too much of your time. If that was.
I'll spend like literally like 10 minutes doing it. Like, it's not going to take too long. I'm gonna speed through it. You'll see it on video so you can replay it. And on Tuesday we're gonna start where we left off right now. Like I'm gonna go back, you know, just so everybody's on the same page. So there's no need to like really stay for it. But let me share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me put this back here. All right. So we have this first section, and I'm about to make this second section here. And the second section, we have a height still of 100%, but the width is 30% of the total width here. Because remember, this one here was 70%. So 30 is the extra to the 100%. I'm gonna give this top right. Let me also give it an ID of top right here. Like I said, these comments are optional. So, I'm gonna copy this tag and I'm gonna go to the CSS file and I'm literally just gonna do the same thing. So what I'm gonna do here, just for a shortcut, I'm gonna paste in top right here. Then I'm gonna copy all of this stuff and then press Control-Z to put that right back. Because I'm literally just gonna write the exact same thing. So now I have top right here. I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit and make this 30%. And I'm gonna also just change this to like some, I'm just change this to gray, just so we see that on the screen. And go to the screen here. Refresh. You can see the black one here, but if we scroll down, we can see this gray one, right? Or the gray one right here. Now the problem here is that these are stacked right next to each other. You can see that this is completely different than this. So we have to use the CSS to stack these right next to each other. There's an easy way to do it, and there's a harder way to do it until you learn it, and then it becomes the easier way. But I'm gonna just straight tell you, I'm gonna tell you the simpler way to do this. There is a CSS rule where you write, what is it called? I think it's, let me just check something out real quick. I forgot the exact name. It's called, let me see something really quick. I'm doing a quick search. I forgot the exact CSS rule. And this is stuff that you're going to do, display. Okay. So I'm just going to write display. Then I'm going to display inline block. There is a reason why it's called inline block, but for now, like I don't want to go over the definition of it right now, just so we can, and this is literally just so we can like speed through it. But just a quick definition of it is that it makes this element not take up the full width of the screen. The reason this is pushed down to the bottom is because this black box, even though you can see it as a box here, is taking up the full width of the screen. But if we make an inline block, that means that it's not taking up the full width. And that means that this bottom one here will have the ability to shift up to the next line. That's a quick definition of it, of what this is doing. So you do inline block, and then you do something called float, and then left. What float left is going to do is help the box stack next to each other. So both of these in combination, I believe. Let me cover this. Actually, yeah, just delete the inline block. I'm sorry, just delete that. Just put float left. I think it should still do it without the inline block. So float left. If I go back here and refresh, we can see that it's still like at the bottom here. But the reason it's like that is because, let me just I'm gonna double check something really quick because I don't want to say it if it ain't right. Let me see what's going on. Float left. Display line block. It's not doing it. Let me do a quick search. Sorry, I don't have this memorized. Float left, CSS. Yeah, that should have worked. Okay, that's why. All right, so this is what I'm going to do instead. Instead of putting 100%, instead of putting 70 VW, I'm just going to do 70% because this does the exact same thing, just 70% of the width. And I'm going to do 30% here. I think this is like conflicting with these rules.
Could it be that both of them say float left instead of one of them saying float right? Shouldn't the top right?
It should. I think they both should say float left. I think the let me see. Yeah, if I refresh, we can see that it works. I think if I remove float left from the first one here, I think it should still work. Oh no, it doesn't. Yeah, both of them have to be float left. Yeah. So now they're both stacked up next to each other. So now that we made these two sections, we have to now put the color of these as a background. To get that exact color is I use like an outside tool, and I'll leave all of these resources in the chat, like actually I'm gonna leave it in the drive. Color.co is a way to get different, accept all cookies, whatever. This is a way to get different colors from pictures, and you can build your own colors if you want. I'm gonna just sign in, and I'm gonna just get the colors, these specific colors from these two blocks here. Close this. I'll just look like this. Start. Because right now we just got black and gray. So, okay. I'm gonna take the colors from a photo and put this photo here. And those who don't know what, actually, let me just put these colors here first. So I got these two colors. Do next, open the generator. So these are colors here. For those who don't know what a hex color is, this is literally a shade of a color, and it's a very specific way of saying a color. Like this isn't just like violet. This is literally called electric violet, but the number for that is this series of characters here. So I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna put this actually in the I'm gonna put this in the chat also. So in case you want to put it in your side as well. And I'm gonna paste that one here because this is that purple one. I'm gonna paste it. And then we can see that purple showed up there as well, or violet showed up. And I'm gonna copy this one because this is the color of that other one. And I'll put this in the chat as well here. And I'll make the color of that, the next one, this. Save that. Go to the browser and refresh. And we can see those colors show up here on the screen. And we're literally just going to do the same thing with the other two sections. Just to quickly speed through it. Let me see, we have black and we have some orange. Let me get those two colors. Also, here, put that photo back up here. Purple, we have this one. We have, make sure that's black. And we have orange here. Next, open in generator. So that's not black, this is a shade of black. That's why I had put it there just in case. It's called dark purple, actually. And put that inside of these two. This first one is going to be this dark purple one here. And the second one is going to be the orange one. So let me drop those IDs in really quick. I'm gonna name this bottom left. The other one I'm gonna name bottom right. Save this, go here. I'm just gonna use these, so I won't have to rewrite these over again. So bottom left and then bottom right here. So bottom left has is dark purple, and that's this. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna put this in the chat as well, in case somebody wanna follow along with that. I'll put that here. Did not copy that correctly. Here, hashtag that. And for the orange or coral, it's coral technically. That's that one in the chat. I'm gonna paste it here. Save it and go to the browser and then refresh it. And if I scroll down, we can see these two here. I got to give this dark purple one a width of 70%. That's why it's not. That's why it's so small. Here, 70% here. If I go back, refresh, everything lines up perfectly here. So, and the last thing I want to do before I call it a day, I'm gonna get rid of this spacing here. You see this white spacing? The reason that's there is because the body has some margin. If you was to go through the course where I talked about the box model, the body has like some margin on the side. And I had to open up the dev tools just to show you, just to show you this. I hover over body. So I hover over body, we can see like there's some orange color on the side here. That's the margin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna target the body. I'll put this towards the top here. And I'm gonna say margin 0 to get rid of that margin. I'm gonna close this, refresh. And you can see that white space on the side went away. So now we just have, let me make this bigger. We literally just have all of the colors here. We have all 4 of the pages. So the next time around on Tuesday, I'll go through this again, and then we'll start building on top of all of this stuff. We'll start putting the images, the text, and aligning all of this extra stuff inside of it. Yeah, any questions with any of this stuff that I went over? I know I sped through it.
Can you just list the colors if you don't mind? That's it. I can get everything else.
Yeah. I put the colors and you should see the colors in the chat.
Okay,
Yeah, all 4 of them are there.
all right, perfect. I got it.
Yeah, copy them over before I end it because I think it might close the chat too. But yeah, any other questions at all?
Can you go back to visual code real quick so I can look at the locations?
Yeah. So the HTML file or the CSS file?
CSS.
CSS, okay.
Yeah, for the bottom left and bottom right.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll put these also. I'll paste these in the chat as well. What I would do is like I would mess around with these numbers, change 70% to like 40 and like change the background color to something else. Maybe even do float right, see what that does. Just play around with it so you can like start to understand what's going on. Any other questions at all? All right, if there's no other questions, I'll see everyone on Tuesday. And I'll wait around for anybody that does have questions, just in case.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, see you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, my boy.
Thanks.
Hey, yo, fam, I just wanted to reach out and say, man, if you need any help from me, man, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think probably the best thing to do, like if somebody asks a question, just jump in. Or honestly, if you want to, we can like set something up where you kind of lead something. Is really like whatever you comfortable with, but yeah.
I'm just putting it out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? I don't know if you need a moderator or, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I can help in any capacity that you need. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to put that out there, bro.
All right, cool. Thank you.
So if you think of something, you know what I mean? Just let me know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll put some thought into that for sure. Thanks. For
All right.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. This is very helpful. So yeah.
All right. Peace, brother. I'm out.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Any other questions before I end it? All right, so I don't hear anything. I'll just end it here. I'll see y'all on Tuesday.